Welcome to today's episode of Africa's Dark Whispers. My name is Ella, and we will be journeying together into the era when river goddesses demanded human sacrifices. Come to think of it, has that era completely evolved? Stay with us to find out. They say, rivers never forget. They carry memories, whispers, and sometimes gods. But in one forgotten African tale, the river's goddess did not ask for prayers or gifts. Instead, she asked for something far darker: human lives. Imagine a village by the water's edge. The river is life itself, feeding the people, quenching the fields, guiding travelers. Yet it is also feared. At night, mist rolls across its surface, carrying whispers that seem too human, too deliberate. Children are warned never to swim after sunset. Livestock vanish near the banks. And sometimes, bodies are found downstream, pale, lifeless, eyes wide in terror. The villagers believe these are not accidents. They are offerings claimed by something that dwells beneath the surface. One evening, the villagers gathered after a series of strange drownings. They were becoming alarmed by the recent happenings, but it seemed that their hands were tied. The elders of the village had met twice within the past market days to deliberate on the issue, but couldn't ascertain what the problem was or how to solve it. Their fishermen had become nervous fishing in the waters. There were tales of men vanishing from their boats with no trace while fishing in the river. In fact, some of them swore they had seen a woman rise from the water, her beauty blinding, her voice a song that pulled men toward the depths. She called herself the river's guardian, but she was no mere spirit. She was a goddess, and she demanded devotion. She emphasized that the land and its surroundings belonged to her, and that if the villagers wanted to inhabit the land in peace, then they have to pay homage to her. At first, the villagers laid fruits, yams, even jewelry by the riverbank. These sacrifices were given to appease the river goddess, who in turn blessed their lands and maintained their peace. For a while, the waters were calm, but soon the floods returned. Crops drowned, livestock drowned as well. Children vanished. Villagers were left stranded, and in the stillness of the night, her whispers grew louder. Her cries echoed. Offerings of food were no longer enough. She had become insatiable. She wanted more. The goddess spoke through dreams. Elders awoke trembling, recounting visions of her glowing eyes and her words like thunder beneath the water. "Bring me one of your own, or I shall take all." Terrified, the villagers resisted at first. How could they sacrifice one of their own children? But when the river swept away homes and disease followed, fear overcame defiance. A ritual was prepared. The village chose, or perhaps condemned, a young maiden. She was dressed in white, her wrists bound with red cloth, symbolizing both purity and blood. That night, the entire village gathered by the riverbank. The drums pounded, the chants rose, and as she was led into the water, her mother wailed in absolute helplessness. She watched as her precious child walked to her death, knowing that there was nothing she could do to help the situation. Other maidens had gone before her, and other families have had to experience the same ordeal. All that the villagers could do was to rally around her and comfort her. Other bystanders shivered in fear of the day such fate will befall them. No one dared to question the dictates of the goddess. As the maiden released herself to the water, the mist thickened until she was gone. Some say she was pulled beneath by invisible hands. Others swore they saw the goddess herself embrace her. The next morning, the river was still. The flood stopped. Plants had begun to flourish. Nature's beauty was at its peak. Fruits and vegetables were surplus in the village markets. The fish returned in bountiful measures. Fishermen could hardly lift their fishing nets off the water. People from neighboring villages came to fish in their village. The type of fishes caught in the river had never been seen anywhere else. They caught fishes to the point where they started using fish as peace offerings to neighboring villages who were their contenders. It seemed the goddess was appeased. But peace came at a cost that had torn several families apart. A cost that has left ache in the heart of mothers and fathers who will always live with the reminder that their precious offspring had to pay the price for their peace.
Oh, so much fish.
From then on, each season demanded another sacrifice. Some years it was a maiden. Other years, a traveler unlucky enough to pass through. The goddess had bound the village to her hunger. Her whispers became law. Even today, villagers by certain rivers in Africa warn strangers not to swim, not to walk too close to the banks, and never to answer voices that call from the water. Was she real? A deity demanding devotion? Or was this legend a way to explain the cruelty of nature? The floods, the drownings, the rivers that both give and take life? Perhaps both. But one thing is certain. When rivers whisper, they are not always speaking to the wind. This was the tale of the river goddess who demanded human sacrifice. One of Africa's darkest whispers. Do you dare to hear more? Subscribe and join us for the myths and shadows that still haunt the continent. Thank you for watching. Until we meet again in the next episode, this is Ella. Bye for now.